Today I'm going to be giving some alternate reality choices for 5 other people who could have been the Arkham Knight instead of Jason Todd. Welcome, detectives. On this list, I'm going to have some really out there ideas. I think numbers 3 and 5 are the most creative, so stick around until then to find out who I've come up with. My first alternative idea for who could have been under the mask is Owlman. Owlman, the dark mirror of Batman from the crime syndicate of Earth 3, is a character with immense potential for a gripping storyline in the Arkham Knight universe. I'm not suggesting they introduce the multiverse or anything like that. There are other backstories that could be used to fit into the Arkhamverse, and for this video I'm not going to delve too deep into his exact background, but if that's something you'd like me to cover in a future video, then comment and let me know. Imagine if, in the aftermath of the events of Arkham City, Owlman is introduced as a vigilante with a distorted sense of justice. This version could be driven by a desire to establish a new world order, believing that the only way to rid Gotham of crime is to impose his own version of justice. Owlman could see Batman's methods as flawed and be convinced that a more ruthless approach is necessary. Unlike some other people on my list, Owlman possesses physical abilities that rival Batman's. Trained by the Court of Owls, he would be a master of hand-to-hand combat and possess an array of gadgets and technology to challenge the Dark Knight. The Arkham Knight's combat style would reflect the lethal precision and agility of Owlman, making each encounter a true test of Batman's skills. The clash between Batman's moral code and Owlman's twisted sense of justice would create a compelling philosophical conflict. Owlman's belief that he is saving Gotham in his own way could challenge players to question the blurred lines between hero and villain, adding depth to the narrative. My next alternative for the Arkham Knight is Anarchy. Anarchy, the teenage anarchist with a penchant for chaos and a desire to upend Gotham's corrupt institutions, made his only main appearance in Arkham Origins. There are a few different ideas of what could happen in this version. In this version, Anarchy evolves from a teenage troublemaker into a formidable strategist. Fueled by a deep-seated hatred for the perceived corruption in Gotham, he masterminds a grand scheme that goes beyond mere bombings. Anarchy seeks to dismantle the existing power structures and expose the flaws in the city's justice system. Instead of merely planting bombs, like he did in Origins, Anarchy utilizes his tech-savvy skills to hack into Gotham's infrastructure. He strategically places explosive devices at key locations, not just to cause destruction, but to send a message about the perceived corruption in each area. Each bomb is accompanied by a digital manifesto, challenging Batman to confront the systemic issues he believes are at the root of Gotham's decay. The confrontation between Anarchy and Batman becomes not just physical, but also a battle of ideologies. Anarchy argues that Gotham's institutions are beyond redemption, and that drastic measures are necessary for true justice. Batman, on the other hand, must grapple with the consequences of his own actions and whether they have inadvertently fueled the chaos he seeks to extinguish. In this alternate Arkham Knight scenario, Anarchy's transformation into the Arkham Knight brings a fresh perspective to the narrative, exploring the blurred lines between justice and anarchy in Gotham City. The clash of ideologies and the unforeseen consequences of Batman's actions add depth to the story, making Anarchy a memorable and thought-provoking antagonist in the Arkham universe. My third alternative is a little out there, but it's someone whose story I couldn't stop thinking about. That person is Twoface. Twoface is one of my favorite Batman villains, but in reality he hasn't been given a chance to stand out as a major threat to Batman in most media. He was almost a sidekick to the Riddler in Batman Forever, and Harvey was only Two-Face for 30 minutes before being unalived in The Dark Knight. I think the best incarnations we have gotten of him were in the Batman Telltale video game, the Long Halloween animated film, and in Batman, the animated series. If you remember, in the new Adventures of Batman series, we had a very special and mysterious episode in which we saw Two-Face take on a third personality. Here's a brief recap of the episode. When Gotham's underworld falls under the vigilant eye of a mysterious figure known as the Judge, Batman delves into the identity of this enigmatic vigilante. In a pivotal moment, the Judge attempts to eliminate Two-Face by releasing deadly poison gas into his hideout, only to be thwarted by Batman. The surprising revelation unfolds that the Judge is, in fact, Two-Face himself. Motivated by the weariness of his Harvey Dent persona towards the villainous Two-Face, a third personality emerges with a mission to combat crime. The separation between these personalities is so profound that neither Two-Face nor the Judge is aware of their shared identity. Upon Batman's triumph over Two-Face, the latter is confined once again to Arkham Asylum. Within the confines of his cell, Two-Face undergoes a surreal internal trial, presided over by his judge persona. When the judge queries Two-Face on his plea, the response echoes with a repetitive admission of guilt. So, what if, in the Arkhamverse, we were to see something similar play out? What if, at the end of Arkham City, after Harvey has been defeated by Catwoman, we were to discover that Harvey was having a mental breakdown? What if, with the combination of always losing, while also seeing how much easier it has become to take over Gotham, Harvey has the realization that the only way for him to get rid of his bad Harvey side is if he creates a third personality to take on crime. When he takes on that third personality, he starts to make up his own rules, though. He has seen how effective it has been now that the Joker is unalived, so he comes to the conclusion that he needs to take out crime by not locking the criminals up, but by taking them out himself. There are a number of reasons why this wouldn't work with the Arkham Knight character we were given. Two-Face doesn't have the acrobatic and fighting skills that the Knight or Batman has. He's just a tough mob boss. He also doesn't have the intimate details of how Batman goes about fighting crime or the secrets of Bruce's life. So, while I think this might have been an interesting concept, it ultimately would not have worked. If you're enjoying this video, please do me a quick favor and hit the like button. It's easy for you and it helps me and the channel out a lot. My next alternative is someone who does have a deep knowledge of Batman and the funds to carry out the Arkham Knight's mission. For my next choice, I'm going with a resurrected Ra's al Ghul who is out for blood after Batman failed to save his daughter. The tragic demise of Talia at the hands of the Joker fuels Ra's thirst for vengeance. The loss of his beloved daughter further convinces him that drastic measures are the only way to cleanse the world of the chaos that has plagued it for centuries. Ra's dons a fearsome suit of armor and commands an army of loyal League of Assassins ninjas to enforce his will. With his vast knowledge of Batman's identity, Ra's infiltrates the Batcave and uses the information to psychologically manipulate the Dark Knight. Rather than a direct confrontation, Ra's orchestrates a series of events that lead Batman into a complex web of challenges, all designed to test his limits and mold him into the perfect successor to the League of Assassins. To destroy Gotham, Ra's decided to take on the Arkham Knight disguise to give Bruce a glimpse of what the cleansing of Gotham would look like if Batman joined him. The mirror image of Batman as the Arkham Knight could give an eerie insight as to what Batman's alternative path would resemble. When Rage confronts Batman, revealing his identity as the Arkham Knight, the two engage in intense philosophical debates about the nature of justice, morality, and the future of Gotham. Rage argues that only by embracing the League's methods can Gotham be saved. He argues that had Batman followed Ra's methods, his daughter would be alive, as the Joker would have been dead long ago. Despite the arguments, Batman remains steadfast in his commitment to justice without compromise. In this alternate Arkham Knight scenario, Ra's al Ghul's quest for a purified world takes center stage, turning him into a formidable adversary as the Arkham Knight. The battle between the immortal warlord and the Dark Knight becomes not only physical, but also a clash of ideologies, forcing Batman to confront the consequences of Ra's undying vision for the world. For my final alternative, I wanted to do something a little different. I was making the list and was trying to come up with surprising twists, and the thing that stood out to me was that all of my logical choices were men. So what if a female turned out to be the Arkham Knight? This then had me guessing as to who it could be. Maybe a resurrected Talia coming back for vengeance against the city that killed her. Maybe Lady Shiva makes a return in this world for revenge of the death of Ra's al Ghul. These could have worked, but there was another idea that just seemed more interesting to me. What if, like with the reveal of Jason Todd, the Arkham Knight was someone with close familiar ties with Batman? What if it turned out that Arkham Knight was none other than Bruce Wayne's cousin, Kate Kane, aka Batwoman? And before some of you get upset, this is not in any way a reference to that terrible CW show we got. So here's my pitch. A military prodigy with a personal vendetta against Gotham's criminal underworld, Batwoman, the cousin of Bruce Wayne, arrives in the city with her father, General Jacob Kane, bringing state-of-the-art military weapons and a ruthless determination to cleanse the failed city. Kate Kane, trained in the military from an early age, arrives in Gotham under the guise of the Arkham Knight. Utilizing her military background and access to cutting-edge weaponry, with General Kane's resources, she establishes a formidable presence in the city. Batwoman's mission is deeply personal. She sees Gotham as a city drowning in its own decay, and her commitment to cleansing it stems from a desire to honor her family's legacy. The Kane family, with its roots entwined with the Waynes, believes it is their duty to eradicate crime and corruption, even if it means imposing military order on Gotham. Armed with state-of-the-art military weapons and gadgets, Kate becomes a force to be reckoned with. Her combat style is a lethal blend of military precision and acrobatic finesse, making her a formidable adversary for Batman. Gotham's criminal underworld finds itself facing a new breed of justice. Kate and General Kane embark on a relentless campaign to clean Gotham, employing military strategies to take down criminal organizations. Their approach is harsh, unforgiving, and uncompromising. The Arkham Knight's vision for Gotham is one of order, even if it means sacrificing individual freedoms for the greater good. Kate's connection to the Wayne family adds a layer of complexity to her mission. While she believes she is continuing the Wayne legacy, Bruce Wayne Batman confronts her, challenging the brutality of her methods and the toll it takes on the city. The clash between cousins becomes not just a physical battle, but a conflict of ideologies. As Kate and Batman's paths cross, family bonds strain under the weight of their differing approaches to justice. The once close cousins find themselves on opposing sides of the battle for Gotham's soul, testing the limits of loyalty and familial ties. In a final showdown, Kate realizes that her father is going too far by harming citizens, and relinquishes the role of the Arkham Knight, and instead takes up her new mantle of the Batwoman. In this alternate Arkham Knight scenario, Kate's arrival transforms Gotham into a battleground where family ties, military might, and personal vendettas converge, shaping a narrative that explores the price of justice and the impact of familial legacies on the fate of a city in turmoil. If you enjoy Batman videos with a noir flair, then please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I post 4 to 5 videos every week, so you're constantly getting new Batman content. So, that completes my list of alternatives of who could have been revealed as the Arkham Knight. If you aren't aware, this is actually my second video asking this question. I made another video covering 5 other characters who could have been the Arkham Knight. You can click the link above now to watch that if you haven't already. It's important to note that I don't think any of these ideas are better than what we got from the game, and this is just a fun what-if experiment. So, fellow detectives, which of these alternative Arkham Knights strikes a chord with you? Could any of them seamlessly fit into the intricate tapestry of the Arkhamverse? Or do you have your own mind-bending suggestions? The bat signal is shining bright. Let your voices be heard in the shadows below. Comment your thoughts and alternative Arkham Knight ideas. Until next time, stay vigilant, my friends, for in this city of shadows, the next chapter is just a heartbeat away.